So, those wild card games last night were interesting to say the least. Did not expect one, and well, my God, I didn't expect either the Falcons or the Titans to win, but wow. Those are pretty good games. Well, after recovering from that drama, happy Sunday, everybody. It's still very cold out, by the way. Although it does remind me, I had a conversation with a friend the other day. He actually does a thing called Flannel February, where he actually has a different flannel shirt for every day in February. Well, at first I thought I only had one flannel shirt, and it's not this one. As I believe it or not, I actually have probably like a dozen flannel shirts I didn't even realize I had. See, when I think of flannel, I think of the classic with like pure red and black, square shaped, kind of like what you see in like lumberjacks. And I actually do have that shirt, and I really love that shirt, but it turns out the flannel shirts I have I really like this one. I actually really like this shirt. But yeah, I guess I was more prepared for Flannel February than I last anticipated. Who knew? And as per a conversation I had with someone yesterday, I really do like singing, and I would love to do it, but A, it's only been 7 videos. I think I want to work your way up to that. And B, honestly, my voice has been really kind of shot. In fact, from video 1, it's been really shot. That's why, if I don't seem as loud as I normally do, and if you've known me long enough, you know I can be pretty loud, even when I'm not even trying, then that's saying something. I honestly have no idea what happened. I think it must be the cold weather. I mean, for goodness sakes, it's -4 right now. Good Lord. I don't want to go out there, but I want to get myself some breakfast, so I must. Anyway, let's see. I guess so far this whole weekend's been pretty nice. First weekend of 2018, and outside of being very cold, I've had a pretty good time. I hope you guys had a good time too. But I've been thinking about like stuff to talk about. Really, I have. In fact, last night I was actually kind of thinking about talking something a little bit on the personal side. Nothing major. It's just, I've said this before, there are people from Horseheads that I haven't seen in years. And, I asked them to be friends on Facebook, and yeah, we are. But it does beg the question, where have I been? Well, I think I can divulge a little bit of that. After I graduated from Horseheads, I did what's called a postgraduate year. I repeated my senior year at a prep school called Trinity Pawling. And it's a little humorous to talk about this part now because of the time we were living in. Because we like to make fun of the older generation for being weird, and we like to make fun of the millennials for being also weird. But my generation, my peers in particular, really aren't that much better. I mean, let's be honest. We're the generation where you have a group of guys who would make fun of someone for being or doing something that's quote-unquote gay, and you would later have that same group of guys draw something, somewhat of a male-esque symbol, vandalizing something, drawing that male symbol wherever they went. I guess it goes to show that a sense of sexuality comes before a sense of irony. I bring this up because Trinity Pawling is an all-boys school. Yeah. I had to spend 1 year, no girls. I never want to do that again. The no girls part. I mean, the rest of the part of Trinity Pawling was great. I met a lot of interesting people, and if in the last few videos that I've done, I used to mention brothers, because that's what we are. I mean, we're brothers. And I think it's appropriate to call ourselves brothers, because when I was at Trinity Pawling, there was no race or religion or color or any kind of dividing mark. I mean, yeah, there were. I mean, technically there were those things, but that didn't get in the way of, being around each other and enjoying each other's company. And there was one guy who absolutely adored being at Trinity Pawling. I don't want to say his name, because I said in an earlier video, I'm going to try not to mention any names in case I don't want to embarrass anyone. And this guy absolutely breathed Trinity Pawling. He did. And he's one of the sweetest, nicest guys I've ever known. And we actually had our 5-year reunion back in 2014. Wow, it's been almost 5 years. I just realized. My Horseheads High School reunion, 10 years, I believe, is this year. It's been 10 years since I graduated from Horseheads. What do I wear? Actually, I have no idea when the 10-year reunion is. I just know it's this year. But, yeah. 5-year reunion at Trinity Pawling. I saw him and several of my brothers. I actually saw one of my brothers where, at the very end of the year, we ended up hating each other. But a few years later, after the tragic passing of one of our own, we actually sort of, reconnected and got together. And I think of that guy as a dear personal friend too. From what I hear, he's actually a pretty decent photographer. At least that's what one of his profile pictures would lead you to believe. And actually, I do want to bring up 2 things. I said Trinity Pawling is an all-boys school. I mentioned that technically I was a year without, girls or women or anything like that. But the semester at Horseheads, before I graduated, one of my classes was drama with Mrs. Baker. Mary Frances Baker is her name. I say is because I'm pretty sure she's still alive. I hope she's still alive. That was the sound of me knocking on wood, hoping she's still alive. Anyway, I had her as a drama class, and she knew who I was, because if you know me, I was into music. I was into musical theater. So, I did several shows for her, and they were great. But I bring this up because I was the only guy in that whole class. That entire class was all girls. Some of you guys are probably thinking, that's great, you're the only guy there, you're a dog, Nick, that's great. No, it's not. It is not. All guys is bad, all girls is bad. Both of us need each other in more ways you could ever hope to realize. Me being surrounded by girls, or any guy being surrounded by girls, is always a bad idea. Because, let's be honest, I did not want to stuff any powder kegs, and I never did. I was the most well-behaved person in that entire room, I swear. Holy cow. I had to, sit, I was stiff as a board for, the first several weeks taking that class. I was trying to do my best to behave. Because, you don't want to stuff any powder kegs, Because if you make one girl, because no offense, ladies, and try not to be sexist, but if you make one girl mad in a group of girls, they could all potentially be mad. And I did everything I could to never do that. I try to be good, always try to be good. And it's all bad if it's all guys, because with no girls around, guys can cut back and let loose, which you would think is a good idea, but then you get into more guys being rude and obnoxious, and yeah, they were. In fact, back at Trinity Pawling, and admittedly, one of my biggest problems in life is that I do take things a little too seriously. So, being at Trinity Pawling, we're guys. Of course, we're gonna bust each other's chops. That's just what we do. That's being a guy 101. And over time, I've been able to overlook I'd say about 99% of it. I mean, years later, only 2 people from Trinity Pawling truly make me angry. 3 if you include faculty. But hey, none of them are my friends on Facebook, so there you go. What else? I can't really think of anything else to say. But anyway, I hope everyone has a good weekend. We have Buffalo and Jacksonville today, as well as the Panthers and the Saints. Again, I don't hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't hate the Buffalo Bills. I don't hate the Saints, so I wish them all the best. I technically don't hate the Panthers either, but come on, guys. Let's be honest. Cam Newton is extremely obnoxious. He is. I get it. He's a tremendous athlete. More athletic than many people I've ever known, and pretty much everyone I've ever known, and this is the thing I can always tell everyone. I'm okay with you being better. I'm okay with anyone being better than me at something. I am. But don't be obnoxious about it. It's honestly one of the biggest problems I had with several people at Horseheads. And one of the people I mentioned from Trinity Pawling. Looking back on it, that one person from Trinity Pawling was so bad, I'd take 10 of the worst people from Horseheads for 100 hours and 1 second with the one person from Trinity Pawling. And I'm sure some of you people know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. Honestly, I think I'm going to go get myself some breakfast, lounge around, relax on this cold yet hopefully relaxing Sunday, and get ready to watch some football. Take care.